Hello, everybody. I'm Ryan Rex, and welcome to Warp Taste Podcast. Today, I have three awesome, special, amazing, great guests today. I got See You Next Tuesday, Meth with a period at the end, and then you got The John Candy. I got all three of these bands here today. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just I like really cool bands, and I thought these really cool bands could mix and mingle and talk about the new stuff they got coming out today. Thank you guys so much. If you guys don't mind like going down the line and introducing yourselves to the viewing audience. Don't fight.
Hi, I'm Jimmy, and I play drums for See You Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
I'm Seb. I do vocals in Meth.
Yeah.
Woo!
I'm Brennan. I do vocals for the John Candy and all of our kind of everything besides producing, and then Eric produces everything. But introduce yourself.
I'm Eric. Yeah, I'm more behind the scenes of the job.
Awesome. All right. So I think John Candy, since you guys have new music coming out that's coming, Meth and See You Next Tuesday have already dropped their EP. I think just based on release schedule, I think we should probably talk about how See You Next Tuesday and Meth came together to make an EP.
Hmm.
Let's
Um,
find out.
Hmm.
yeah, Drew's not here, but Drew kind of was the spearhead and engine of the concept, and he kind of just called me out of the blue, pitched this weird idea of swapping drum tracks. Jimmy recorded 3 songs on drums, our drummer Andrew recorded 3 songs on drums, swapped tracks, and then wrote our own kind of interpretations of this whatever those drum tracks were, and just kind of wanted to see how we wrote over like the same shell of a song. And then that's kind of just like the quick analysis of it, I guess, or description of it.
Yeah, that's the
Uh,
value menu version of it.
yeah.
It was a definite like toss up of like, is this gonna work? How is this gonna work? What's it gonna sound like? Like, because I'll be completely honest, Seb, I was like so anxious and not nervous, but I was like excited. I guess excited's more of the word to get like what you guys were gonna send back. And Drew and I were like listening to it and we were like, this sounds like As the Sun Sets and the best way ever. And that was like, it really does. And I love it.
Oh,
And
dude. Yeah, that
it,
shit was like, as soon as we got your tracks, like, and I was just hearing like these fucking gravity blasts, like I was like, I've never written over like gravity blasts or anything like that too. So it was just like, okay, this is gonna be like really fucking like we can just get fucking buck wild with it. And then like your guys's like half on our songs and stuff too. It was just like it was cool to like hear your guys's like interpretation over it, and like especially for like the shared single that we did where it's like you like we did our just like our meth side of it, but then it was like hearing that like kind of like bluesy like approach you
Stoner.
took. Yeah, and it was just like it was like really cool just to like because like the hits and everything come in like at similar spots, and it's like they have that same like feel when you hear like the pan side by side, but it's like there's just like yeah, just like that bluesy vibe and everything to it. I was like, oh, I wouldn't have thought of like doing stuff like that at all either. And just like it's just really fun.
He had he and I were talking about, he was like, I got the tracks from Andrew. And he was like, I've already got like so many ideas of what I want to do. And that's the really great thing about Drew's like brain is he's constantly always like thinking forward and like
Mhm.
always trying to what are we going to do next? Like what's the next thing? What's on our plate next? And like he you wouldn't really know it from hearing him talk and like as a like what we talk about like every day usually is like, hey, I'm listening to this new grindcore record, or I'm like listening to this grind or this score grind band. He is a huge fan of stoner stuff like Black Sabbath, Bong Ripper, stuff like that. I think one of them is Beelzebong or something like that. And he tries to
Yeah.
tell me all these band names, and I will honestly admit I am always late to the party with most bands. Like if it's not Waylon Jennings, I really probably don't want to listen to it,
Oh, that's pretty sick.
But he was telling me, he's like, I've got so many ideas. He's like, I kind of want to go on the more of like stoner doom side, for these tracks because, it was really cool because Andrew did some blasting for your guys' songs, like those like alternating like blasts that he does so
Yeah.
well, and I love watching him do. And it was just kind of cool to have like that stoner feel with some blasts in it too, because like stoner bands don't really blast at all.
Yeah.
And so that was cool. And he was like, I have all these ideas. He's like, what do you think about this? And like he would send me like a little edit here and there of like what he had going on. And I was like this sounds awesome. So yeah, it was really cool for this whole thing was just super cool. I
Yeah.
enjoyed it.
I really liked his approach too of just being like, we will not like exchange, like we made a like like we made a choice to just send everything at the exact same time. So it wasn't like we're like, okay, these songs are done and then we'll send it, like, so we weren't just completely blind to like what the other side was doing. And like when you actually could, because you're used to the ebb and flow of your side, and like so it's like, and those songs like inside and out at a certain point, and so it's like still having that like feel, but like everything on top of it is just like it's almost completely different in certain aspects. But there are points too where it's just like I feel like me and Fox like have similar like vocal patterns over certain parts, or like some of the guitars that come in, it's like they hit like the impact points are like almost similar, because it's like you feel that just from the drums, and it's like really cool to like kind of see how like the drums are the actual like engine to a lot of that and really dictate a lot of like the flow of just the music in general. And I thought it was really cool when he like did those like secret tracks on there that are just like the dual pan, and it just sounds like fucking chaos. Like, but it's like everything's so locked in still too with just, I mean, the drums being central, and it's like, okay, these are the drum tracks for both songs, but then you hear everything going on, and it's just like, if you're like stoned and you just kind of feel like you're fucking like losing your mind a little bit, it's just like, but yeah, I mean, this is the kind of shit that like I really love doing, where it's just like you can think outside the box and like, collab with people, and like, I got to learn like what working with Drew's like, and like what working with like you guys is like more, and it's like I like taking those little bits from like just everyone I've been like privileged enough to work with, and like just keeping that, it's always a learning experience, and I think that's what keeps things like fresh and fun.
Yeah, definitely. We have been trying to figure out a way to work with you guys ever since we first met on our little run that we did together, because we did two. It's
Mhm.
it's been really cool to do those with you guys. And Drew was like, how about meth? And I was like, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah, when
Because
he called me too, it was this exact same feeling as well.
he was like, talking to me, he was like, because he and I both have this major respect and love for Andrew's drumming. Like Andrew has such a finesse about how he plays, and he is his own drummer. Like I couldn't ever see anybody coming in and replacing him in any sort of way
Mhm.
with your band. Like there's just no way. And I I was like, I am really excited to hear what he comes up with. And I loved it. So
Yeah.
that was like, I was like, let's just have he and I play on a track and be like the Allman Brothers and have fucking two drummers just slamming up there like at the same time, same shit. And that would be so sick.
That would be
But
really fucking fun. I would love to see you guys like go like, or like just do something even together, because it's like you guys are so just like fucking well-rounded in like your craft with that, but you have distinct different styles, so it'd be really cool to like see how that goes. And like, man, I've like just seeing Andrew too, just like I don't know, he doesn't get I feel like he doesn't get enough praise for his drumming sometimes too, and I should tell him that more as well. But like
Definitely.
yeah, I've fucking seen him play since he was like 18, and just like he's always been really good, but it's just like he's just really nailed in. Like yeah, he's a little monster. He's a little gremlin, man. For
My
sure.
favorite thing that we did with you guys was the mini tour we did with you and Def Club.
Mhm.
And when we played at Talia Hall, and just that whole setup was super cool. And I was like, I want to play with these guys all the time.
Yeah,
Like,
no, that whole run, I was so happy with like how everything like came together. And that show in particular, it's like that's like one of those shows that I'm just gonna remember forever. And like it was just yeah, it was just a really cool, just intimate vibe in this huge hall, basically. So like I don't know.
and to set the stage for everyone else listening,
Yeah.
there was a stage in this gigantic old room that had another big stage like really behind it, but it was a lot higher, and we decided to set up on the floor on a small riser.
Oh, that's cool.
So basically we were, face to face with the band.
Yeah.
And
That's
it was
awesome.
set up in the middle of the room, and it was we had, for us, like in Def Club, we had circle pits going on around the stage. Like people were circle pitting like around the stage, which was super sick.
Dude,
It
there's
was
some
just a lot
awesome
of fun.
fucking videos of that too. Like it's like a full-on sprint. It just looks like like a big line of people just chasing each other, and it's
Yeah.
fucking sick.
That's awesome.
Did you guys ever play a Chain Reaction back in the day when the stage was like only that tall?
No, I've never played
It was like
Chain. That's in
wanna
LA, right?
yeah.
Yeah, Orange County.
Or
But
yeah.
like the stage literally used to be like half a foot tall.
Yeah, like if you got pushed from behind, your shins got absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, that's horrible. That just sounds like pain.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah, they changed that pretty quickly. I feel like it was
Yeah.
like a year maybe or
Yeah,
something.
I only remember going to one show where it was at, and then like the next time I went, it was like half what it is now, and then they doubled it again, and then it got even.
Yeah.
They're just like, yeah, we'll just keep trying.
Protect the chins. I mean,
Yeah.
now the shirts are all covered in, I mean, the walls are covered in shirts. The room definitely has a particular odor, but
Oh,
it
yeah.
smells like Chain Reaction, which is legendary.
Oh, for sure. I mean, every friggin' band has gone through that place. Every band, like on their come up, it's just it's solidified itself in not even just like the scene, but just music in general is just such a critical, amazing space. I remember when it almost shut down during the pandemic, and like all these bigger bands, some hardcore, metalcore type bands, other big, larger bands, smaller bands, everyone banded together to raise funds to keep it from closing, and they ended up, I don't know what exactly they did, 'cause I think Live Nation owned it at some point. I don't think they own it anymore. I can't really remember. But yeah, it was almost like crowdfunded to stay afloat.
That's
And,
awesome.
and we've been to
Yeah.
many shows there since. I mean, you just saw did you see Kubla Khan there recently?
No,
And
I
not,
didn't go to that show.
oh, you didn't go to that
I
one.
wanted to go to that show.
And they're like massive now. It's
Yeah.
crazy for them to play like a 200 cap venue nowadays.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Times be changing and times be crazy, especially when you need a venue that's reliable, like Chain Reaction. Visit today.
Definitely a distinct smell. Definitely is not cold in there. It's just
Yeah.
very hot.
I was like, is it that homey stale piss smell that we all love?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The smell we all know and love. And
Yeah.
can't get enough
That's
of.
how you know. That's how you know it's a good venue, though. If it doesn't got that smell, it's like, nah, nobody hardcore danced in here once. This is
Yeah.
not.
I'm home.
That's funny when you guys were talking earlier about making the songs together. I was listening to your guys. What do you call it, like a split EP or just EP? You guys see the one works maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, you were talking about the jazz vibes and whatnot. It was reminding me a lot of some bands that we used to listen to back in the day, and one that we toured with, Loftus. They're very local to like Southern California, but very similar
Yeah.
on some of the parts. Yeah, you guys might have heard of them. We were obsessed with them back then. That was like 2005. And Into
yeah.
the Boat, if you guys ever knew them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Saw them play a couple times, and yeah, they always had those like little jazz breaks and stuff. That stuff was so good.
Into the
Yeah,
Moat was really incredible. The design was so fucking good. I
Yeah,
love
it was-
that record.
I still feel like almost like it's ahead of its time or something. It's just an incredible album.
Yeah. It's kind of like I don't really want to compare them to this band, but it's like when I heard that, I was like really blown away by it. And it was like when I heard Necrophagist, I was really
Oh,
blown away by that. I was just like, they're not the same, but like just
yeah.
like those two records, like were kind of like, like holy shit, like what's happening here?
The Necrophages, I haven't heard them in years. They had just tons of just wild blast beats and gravity beats and stuff, right?
Oh yeah, just crazy guitar parts and like time signatures and stuff like that. Like the drummers that they had uh that toured with them and did the two records that they did were just incredible. It was just so cool. They did that big summer slaughter fest, so I imagine that probably came out your way for sure.
Yeah,
Like 2008 maybe, something
yeah.
like that.
We're very fortunate in Southern California. Everything comes through here.
yeah.
That's
Man,
very
touring
true.
festivals, like that's just not a thing anymore.
Yeah, right. Except for Warped Tour's coming back, right?
Yeah, but they took the
Yay!
tour now. They're like 3 days. That's a tour, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how much of those tickets too? I didn't see, but I'm assuming they're interesting.
About 150, I think, was the baseline. I think that's before service fees and stuff like
Okay.
that. But I mean,
Oh,
when
dude.
we were young, tickets like $600. So it's like,
Oh,
Yeah, that's fucking wild.
right?
yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
Yeah.
I wanted to go to that. What was the new metal one that started a couple years ago in Vegas?
Sick New World.
New World. I was going to go to the first one. I looked at the prices. I was like, I don't care if I want to see every band on this bill. I'm not paying that. It was like,
Yeah.
fees. It was like $400 or $500. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
That
For
doesn't
one
include-
ticket.
One
Yeah,
ticket.
just one ticket.
That wasn't even
Wow.
VIP or anything. That was just GA.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's like that doesn't include travel, that doesn't include hotel, that doesn't,
Yep.
gas, food, it doesn't include all that. I had tickets to go. I had a refund because it was just like, do I want to have rent next month or do
Yeah.
I want to go on vacation? And
Yeah,
it's
it's
just
Yeah.
like,
adding up.
choices got to be made, and unfortunately, given our economy status and like delicious restaurants like Long John Silver's being so affordable,
Nice.
unfortunately,
Well,
it's hard out there to have tickets. Concert
yeah, I
tickets
mean,
are-
dude, I'd rather just go to 100 shows a year at whatever, 20, 30 bucks a pop and be super stoked that it'll probably be a bill with 2 or 3 bands that I really want to see. And that will feel better because with the festivals too, it's also rushed, right? It's like you end up half the bands you want to see are all playing at the same time. They're playing shorter sets. Sometimes they're not even playing the songs that you want to hear because they saved that for the subsequent tour they're going to do. And
And you're watching
You know,
them from like a fucking screen half the time too,
Yeah.
because it's just like
It's just
okay,
so many
like,
people.
It's just it's just a sea of like yeah.
a sea of body odor.
It's interesting to see where we are now versus where we were during the obviously during the pandemic,
Mhm.
things were like not happening, and then it was like a trickle, and now it's been this just flood, like this deluge of so many expensive festivals, and they're all
Mhm.
they all sell out or get close to selling out, and what it just feels like 2020 2021 never happened, like some fever dream or something.
Yeah, I feel like they're like doing it's like a weird like market of like planning vacations around like shows and fests because it's like even like with fest it's like obviously it's like a lot of like you have to plan for like all the tourists like and the flood of people coming in, but then they even have like the fucking cruises and shit and it's just like what is this, like this is such a it's not a thing I would have expected. Like I guess like and you can almost
What is
have
that
like
one? Is it like 70 tons of metal? Is that the cruise?
I have no idea.
Yeah, there's multiple
One
ones. I
One of
think,
many.
now.
Yeah,
One of
there's
many.
a few. Like I remember like Chris Jericho had a fucking like music cruise, and it was like fucking it was like Fozzy, of course, is playing like fucking every night, and some other fucking, and I think it was like a wrestling cruise though too. So I was like, oh, that's kind of fun, but it's like, why? Like, who's ever just been like, oh, I want to watch wrestling at sea? Like, okay.
All right, now's the
Is
time.
it,
Actually, now that I said that out loud, I kind of want to watch wrestling at sea.
Yeah.
Like that sounds fucking awesome.
Let's see it.
they're
Let's talk the
waiting
gold dust. Bust it
Yeah,
out.
the gold
There
man.
we go.
Let's go. When you said Fozzy, I was hoping it was like performances by Fozzy Bear.
Oh,
I thought it was a Muppet too.
But then I
That'd be
remembered
so
that Chris
fucking
Jericho
sick.
had that band.
Yeah.
I was like, man, wrestling and the Muppets, that's a pretty cool cruise.
Muppets and wrestling at sea. I think that was called Muppet Treasure Island, wasn't it?
Yeah. Miss Piggy will fuck some people up.
Dude, I've seen her hit Kermit with a fucking chair before, and like, God,
Yeah, she
that
doesn't
poor man.
She
Try to
don't
call.
take sass.
I know she don't.
She's not
I've never
about it.
sassed that one. Yeah.
All right, so the See You Next Tuesday and Math, you guys had a vinyl come out for this EP. People can get that. Was that of Good Fight Records? I believe it was.
Yep, that's correct. There are 3 variants that you could choose from, which is super cool. I think all 3 are still available at this time. I think they said on the bottom of the disclaimer, I think early February could possibly be when you'll have them in hand, which
Yeah,
is
yeah.
I already have mine in hand. I have the test press, but that's all I have.
I mean,
But
I think that's basically the vinyl industry these days is like, you can pre-order it now. You'll have it in like 6 months.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hey,
It's,
at least it's only like a couple months now, because like, geez,
Yeah.
it was like a fucking year. Like
Yeah.
post COVID, it would just be like, okay, you're just not getting this done for a year.
Yeah,
like,
we've been
after
talking to
completion.
somebody about doing vinyl, and we've been talking for a year. And
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen soon, but it's like for the entire year, it's like, it's going to happen soon. It's going to happen soon.
Yeah.
We don't have anything physical, so our fans are really champing at the bit for it. And
Mhm.
we're also working on almost like a double CD of our entire discography through BTS Records, and we've been talking to him for I think almost a year too. So they both will happen eventually. It's just been a long process.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of I can remember like during like early COVID times, like bands were like waiting for their records to be pressed, and like all of a sudden, you get this email saying, we're very sorry, but these 5 million Adele records we have to press, and like
Oh, that's right, Adele. Yeah.
the 10th complete Beatles discography has to be pressed again, and that takes priority. It's not like the Beatles have like 7 bazillion fucking copies of each record out now.
Totally.
And so it's like you had to wait forever.
Yeah, dude, just people can cut the fucking line. And it's just like wild.
I got big leagued by the Beatles, bro.
Yeah. They've
Oh,
all
I
been
need-
dead for like 40 years, man. Like,
No, it's not fair, man. There's definitely a line in the music industry, and they let you know where it is sometimes.
man, and Paul McCartney's not even Paul McCartney, man. That's fake Paul.
It's it's Mick Cartney, like McDonald. He's a licensed trademark of McDonald's now.
Dude, he's actually a deface painted Ronald McDonald.
Right?
That's
There you
who
go.
he is, I think, right?
That's the original actor of Ronald McDonald is Paul McCartney.
McDowell's from Coming to America.
Yes.
I really love a good
McCartney.
Mick White album.
Yeah. My 85th copy of it.
Yeah. Super size me.
Yeah.
All
But yes,
right.
the vinyl is coming. We picked some pretty cool variants, I think. And the pressing plant that we went through for relapses, they knocked it out of the park with what we were wanting to do. So I'm excited to see what all of these look like. But yeah, February looks like is when they'll be in hand.
Dude, yeah, the mock-ups look fucking sick, and like,
Yeah.
I was just like, let's just make them as ugly as possible, like, and just like color-wise, it's just like and it looks jarring and it's fun, and I don't know, it's
It'll be sick.
yeah,
It better be.
because if it's not, we'll issue a public apology.
Backup plan.
That's all we can do.
Yeah.
Like we would like to address the allegations of sucking. We don't.
Yeah. Sorry, this was very this was just really clean and it was supposed to be sick, and I don't know.
It's great. I think everybody should go grab themselves a copy of that vinyl. The mock-ups look great, and I don't think that's a very long wait time given everything going on. I know the John Candy has some new music coming out, and I think that maybe it's time to pass the baton and let us get filled in on what's coming in the world of the John Candy.
Yeah, sure.
Let's hear it.
Yeah, I mean, we're pretty much always working on something because we've kind of, I feel like in the last 2 years, we've gone to like a single model where we just keep releasing singles. But we try to make it like more of an event where it's like, you get a music video with every single. We put our everything into every single one. We just want everything to just be kind of not. We don't want it to be like disposable, I guess. Not to imply that going any other route is disposable. It's just kind of a thing that has worked for us. Like we noticed a massive pop in our viewership and listenership when we started going the single route. I think it's just the way people consume content nowadays. Anyway, people just have no patience. They have no attention span. TikTok generation, like, I mean, that's TikTok's the whole reason. I mean, one of probably three top reasons anybody knows who we are. It's just because we had a mashup of the Killers and Green Day and Paramore, and I don't remember who do we use. Oh, Wage War riffs all sampled together and mishmashed, and it just struck a chord with people. And so doing the single route has been really fun. We've got some really cool music video directors, our buddies Javi and Ian at Just Two Boys. They've done two of our music videos. They'll probably help us do our new one, and that's kind of like the perfect segue to our new song. So Eric started working on that right as we were releasing our newest song that we did with Delta Hate. Really cool band that we met. Actually, Eric had this video go viral where I don't know, the singer, she's like, "Oh, if you fucking move," and then like it sounds like this 808 drop like blows out the speakers in the venue, and then just the energy's so good, and it distorts the speakers of the person who's recording, so it just sounds super intense. And Eric's like, "Her voice is perfect. We need her on the next song," and so we kind of finagled that, and that was super cool. So song's been doing really well, and but Eric's kind of a mad scientist genius over here, and he starts working on stuff, something that'll tickle his fancy, and he's like, "Hey, I want to make this." And so what was the genesis of the newest song?
There's an old YouTube clip where a preacher is like reading from the Bible, the scroll. I forget what there's something the scrolls. And even though he's holding a Bible, he's talking about religion. This woman calls in to debate him, and he just goes, "Cut that bitch off." and
the next caller.
Yeah, he goes, "Cut that bitch off. Next caller." And I had just remembered that clip, and that was like where the song starts. And then I kind of just work off that.
That's how it happens. Yeah, it's just like one little thing will trigger this like it'll be like the first domino. And then if the dominoes finish falling, then I don't know, we get random inspiration from something else, and it can be from anything and everywhere. We used to do a lot of songs that were very much, I mean, that is like the origins of the band is very much just doing movie samples, like very early 2000s metalcore, deathcore type stuff, where like every band like 2000 to like maybe 2008 was just putting all sorts of samples in their stuff. And yeah, so we were originally doing more songs that were like, the theme is one movie for the song or one TV show or one whatever. But now it's more just become a mishmash of just kind of everything and just whatever we're inspired by at the time, whatever seems fun, whatever we think sounds good, we just friggin' throw it in there. Like I feel like we've been doing a lot of Chris Farley samples lately. Last song was almost all Black Sheep samples. That was super fun to do.
Wait, what a coincidence! There is wrestling in this one. It's got like Macho Man.
Oh yeah, we
and
gotta do the
Oh
whole.
hell yeah!
I can't do it. That was horrible. Scratch that. Cut that out.
Just breathe really heavily, like
Yeah.
really fast, really heavily.
Pretend like his baby or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. No man.
But yeah, it's
crop rise to the top.
But
That's
yeah,
awesome.
what else did you throw in there? You got
There's oh my god, I don't even know. There's Ace Ventura.
Mhm.
There's a bunch of like there's a few songs from the 90s. There's
Oh, you got the Used in there.
Used, there's Glassjaw. There's
Mhm.
Outfield. There's
Ace of Base.
Ace of Base. There's
It's like every song is like
En
minimum
Vogue.
30 samples. Yeah, En Vogue.
En Vogue.
We got En Vogue singing, or sorry, geez, man. En Vogue singing over Jonathan Davis doing Twist.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like this interplay between the two. The juxtaposition is pretty hilarious.
Did you pull the isolated like Twist vocal track from YouTube?
That's what I get.
Okay, fuck yeah, yeah. Because I've actually fucked with that myself too, which is something like just that thing's so fun.
It's very fun.
That's exactly what I got it from. Yeah.
I think the ironic part too is like Eric's not even a Korn fan. Like I've been a Korn fan since I was a kid, but we've sampled Korn so much.
So
You'd
many
think that
times.
we're like the whole band is huge fans.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
think
it's
like
just me.
I think like the last 3 songs in a row have a Korn sample.
Oh yeah,
Fuck
someone
yeah.
called it out in the last song. I didn't even realize we sampled Korn. Who's Korn? Which part is Korn in that one?
It's over the Refused. The blind symbol is over the.
Oh, okay.
Fuck yeah.
Super subtle, but very iconic ride usage.
Even if you're not a fan of Korn, you're a fan of Korn. Whether
Oh,
you're
yeah.
like
I mean, they're
They were
icons.
they were pretty much everywhere, like in the late '90s, early 2000s. Like you couldn't like go into a liquor store without Korn playing, pretty much.
I mean, I've seen them live twice in the last 5 years, and both shows were insane. Like, it looks like you're back in like 1996. Like, I would say 50
Jacob.
to 70% of the fans, are wearing everything, all the same styles, same hairdos, same contact lenses that I would see at shows back then.
That
Wall
sick,
fucking sick.
that sick ball chain necklace that everybody
Oh
had back
god,
then.
yeah.
I'm looking for some
Bring it back.
shells too, just mixing styles.
Frosted tips.
Frosted tips, oh yeah, baby. That's always the fun fact I always bring up if Frosted Tips come up, because I'm in the System of a Down video for Chop Suey, and I'm recognizable because I'm center of the frame at the bridge of the song, or actually maybe towards the outro, and I'm the only person in the crowd with blonde hair, but I have frosted tips in it, and so
That's fucking sick.
I would get recognized on the street all the time for it. Yeah, and someone sends it to me every year, like, "Oh, there you are." This is like 20 years ago, dude.
Sick.
Dude,
Like that's a timestamp though. Like,
Oh hell yeah!
this is
Yeah.
a Chop Suey video. What
Yeah.
have you done with your life?
I was just a little 18-year-old kid, and I was on a street team, and they were like, "Hey, come to Dodger Stadium on Friday, and we're gonna shoot the System of a Down video." At the time, I was a big fan, but nobody knew they were. They were super underground, and so I brought some friends, and we went, and Marco Siega directed, I think his name is. He directed like a bunch of Dexter episodes and stuff, and he's done other music videos and whatnot. But yeah, it was just an all-day thing, and we're like, nobody will ever see this. Obscure band, no one cares. It's too heavy. Ironically, saying it's too heavy considering the state of heavy music nowadays. And no, it becomes like one of the biggest music videos ever fucking made.
yeah.
That rules.
That's so fucking sick. Man, street teams used to be like an actual like useful resource. Like that shit fucking
That's how I found every band for a period of time.
like I got into like my brother was on he got Worship and Tribute and the first Used record like early, and they just sent him like it was like 10 copies of each, and
Yeah,
like
your big old package.
just-
Yep.
yeah, and it was just like fucking. That's what got me into like so much shit. It was
I'd
just,
be in
like-
high school, and I just walk around handing out cassette,
yeah,
like cassette tapes, CD samplers, stickers, whatever other random stuff they sent me. And yeah, it was just what a time to be alive.
I think like I miss those times because it's just simpler, you know. It was just easy.
Yeah.
My life was the stickers on my folder and the bands that were in my CD booklet case.
And the
And
shit
I,
that you like drew on with like whiteout on your binder
Oh,
or some
yeah.
shit.
I
Absolutely.
think, yeah, it's definitely a lost art, the street team. I try to like, I mean, I use Facebook groups nowadays. It's not the same, but I try to just always try to keep that energy because at the very least, bands should have some kind of support system, whether it just be somewhere to congregate and just talk about whatever you like. I mean, it's always nice to have somebody echo back, like, I like that too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I know for me growing up, it wasn't. I didn't hear about a street team until I was out of high school. But for like, I went to school and grew up in the country, and like, you had like you had a mix of things, but the majority of the crowd, it was like we're either listening to fucking Kenny Chesney and Tim McGraw, Nelly,
Fuck yeah.
or metal, you know, and like, and it was metal. There were like a handful of us in my high school and some of my closest friends today who really knew about more up and coming and sort of underground stuff, like, you know, like everybody was like super into Slipknot and, you know, System of a Down and Tool and all that mainstream type of metal that was popping up at that time. And then it was like, you know, and of course, like, you know, Pantera, Metallica, and all that. And then there's like me and like three or four of my friends who are like, yo, Cannibal Corpse. And everyone's like, what the fuck is that? And I was like,
Sure, a
oh,
Cannibal Corpse, baby.
Yeah.
that's exactly it. That's how I discovered Cannibal Corpse. And probably like a lot of people my age, you know, that's how they did discover them. But
Yep, I sure
it's
did.
just there was a handful of us that just had like that, like newer, like, not that Cannibal Corpse was new in 2003 by any means, but like we were discovering, like there was, I can remember this kid, I fucking hated him because he was like, he just thought he was like the coolest dude ever.
Fuck him.
And he was a drummer too. And I didn't hate him because he was like a competitive, like metal drummer. He was just an asshole. But I can remember him wearing a Mastodon Remission shirt. And that is how I found out about Mastodon. And that instance literally opened the door to me finding Relapse Records and then literally jumping with arms wide open into that river.
Arms wide open.
Then we're gonna segue to Creed.
Yes. Like that was like, thanks, dude. You're an asshole, but thanks for wearing that shirt and like getting me into all these super cool bands that I'm forever, you know, considering the reason for playing drums the way I do. Like,
There you
thanks.
go, dude. Random inspiration. That
There's
just
just
Isn't that always the,
sure.
that's always the worst, you know?
There's
like
always
when
an
someone-
asshole with good taste.
Yeah.
There
There you go.
Like-
damn it.
It's up there. It's up there with like ex-girlfriends that ruin music. It's just like, damn it, stop it.
Why is this so good?
it was just one of those things where it was kind of like, I like, people were like, and when I got out of high school and like people were like, yeah, I got this from the street team. I'm like, what the hell's a street team? Like, you know, we didn't, in the country, we didn't have that shit. Like someone burnt you a CD of Kenny Chesney's latest record, or like, you know, I was burning CDs for my friends, like, hey, you know, do you get the 15-year Killing Spree box set from Cannibal Corpse? I did. Do you want a copy of it? Like, just dumb shit like that.
Burning CDs. That was the jam, man. I was the one burning CDs for all my friends. Like,
Dude,
like, hey,
same.
I need a copy of that.
Yeah.
Can I copy of that? Like, yeah, I got you. TDKs, baby.
It was such
Yeah,
a
yeah.
meticulous process of just like, if you were like making like a mix too, it's just like, how is this all gonna flow correctly?
Yeah.
And like these have to be like perfect. It's like I kind of miss that. Like, just because even with like Spotify playlists and shit, it's just like there's just too much. Where I'm like, I'm just gonna keep adding shit. Like, I like to having like that 80-minute limit on CDs and shit, where it's like, okay, I have to make all of these count. Like, this just needs to count.
Well, dude, that was the worst too. Is if like you have a 2x burner and you're 20 minutes, 30 minutes into the burn and it errors out. And
Oh God, I forgot about that. You just like fucking re-traumatized me. Holy shit.
Where's the error? I gotta find this.
I only have 2 discs left.
Yeah.
And
Dude,
I'm
my
about to
first-
get 100 spindle.
Yeah. Oh my God.
I
Dude, I
have
don't-
a few of those in this room right now that still have CDRs all on them.
Yeah,
That's
It's so funny.
yeah.
so good.
I like re-stumbled upon like my old like CD case, and it just like had a bunch of just like they're all like somehow they look rusted just because I don't take care of my shit. And it's just like, okay, it's like I don't think CDs rust, but okay. And like but there it's just like all of like my fucking like 2009 to like 2010 2011 just CDs, and like everything's just like decaying, but it's just like, oh, this I miss this. I wish I could play all of you
Time
right now.
capsule.
I think the worst
Fucking
part
CDRs.
about all that is just like they're making it harder and harder to like have a dish tray on stuff. It's just like they're eliminating the things at the very least, because I know like CD burners aren't popular anymore, but
Mhm.
like when you get rid of CDR trays where you could play this stuff, it's like, well, I'm saving all these discs for what? They're trying to eliminate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel like-
most
I feel bad
cars don't
for,
even
like-
have CD players.
I know.
Yeah, I feel like my Prius back here is a relic because it's a 2015, but it has a CD player in it. But it's like one where it's like the facade of the screen kind of pops out like this. It looks all futuristic to reveal
Oh,
a CD player. You put one CD in, and it kind of floats back. And
I still got
I
CD.
never use it. I forget it's even there. Oh, there you go.
I am a lover of physical media, as you can see from behind me, and I also still buy CDs. You know, any chance I get while, you know, when we're on tour or, you know, out of town doing shows or anything, any chance I get to go to a record store, I'm there. And like I'm always like trying to find something super cool, just like real. I'm a big fan of CDs because I've noticed lately that like people don't really give a shit about them, and there are some people out there who do, but like, you know, for the most part, everyone has like taken all of their CDs and went to their record store and got probably $15 for a whole stack of them, and
Yep.
you know, they're selling them for like, you know, $5 max, or like buy 3 for $10 type deal. And you will find some cool shit out there like that you forgot about, or like that you listen to. And like I, you know, any chance I get to like go do that, and like, you know, like I've pretty much gathered up my, you know, Cephalic Carnage CD collection, like just by doing that. Like, oh, this place has it, it's like $3, hell yeah, I'll take it. Like, you know, I don't like turn my nose at like a $10 used CD, but like, you know, I'd prefer it to not be $10, but if it's less, you know.
I used
And then
I
I,
used to-
you know,
yeah.
Do you
I
get
still carry this, you
Oh
know.
my
Oh,
god.
Oh, dude, hell yeah.
Oh,
The
you're
rare-
yeah, now we're showing media, dude. This
I was saying, do you get cassettes now too? Because I noticed those are like for that.
we did this
Oh.
rad song with this cool band, and they're called Got Item, and this is actually a cassette case, but the actual album they put on a USB stick in a Game Boy cartridge.
That's
Oh,
sick as hell.
I've never seen that.
It's like the thickest thing ever, dude. This is the coolest
wow.
I've ever seen.
I love
That
that.
is sweet.
I just realized Eric's never seen it, and we're on this thing.
That is really awesome.
Yeah.
All right, if
Live.
everyone's showing off, I got this
Yeah.
lizard,
Yeah, there we go.
and
What
when
do
you
you play
open
that
its, dude, yeah, when you open its mouth, it fucking plays "Rock Me Amadeus." It's really fucking
I
sick.
knew it. I knew it.
Is that like a one of one?
Yeah, I think it might be. Falco birthed that lizard himself, but we don't talk about that.
That was a secret handshake deal. They had to corroborate together. You know.
I shouldn't have even said anything. I shouldn't have brought it up. I'm sorry.
Sure, I'll get a cease and desist for this episode.
I have one super neato thing that I thought I would never ever own on a physical media format, but are you guys at all familiar with the band Cursed? They were Canadian. They they had their 3 full lengths, 1, 2, and 3, all put onto a 8-track.
Oh wow,
That's fucking sick.
Oh, I remember that cover. Oh, that is sick. Yeah.
I was
That's
like,
amazing.
Cursed has a 8-track. I don't have any 8-tracks. I don't have an 8-track player, but I have to have this.
Yeah,
Like, this
it's
is
cool media. Yeah.
too cool.
That's
Sorry,
awesome.
we got off tangent here. Sorry.
no,
No,
That's
that's
the first
fucking
time I
sick
seen
as
that
hell.
in a modern band, having an 8-track.
Can
I
you
think we're
explain
all-
the technology behind 8-track while we have you?
Me?
Is it like a cassette?
I honestly don't. I don't know how they work, to be honest. I assume it's very much like a cassette player. I know that when I was a kid at my grandma's, they had an 8-track player, and I remember pushing it in, and it was, like the Saturday Night Fever, 8-track or whatever. But
Dude, that's such
I
a
never
good
like
fucking
messed with
record.
buttons. It just like play it from wherever it was.
I mean, with that one, you could just let that one play anyway. So that Night Fever soundtrack, yeah, just let that rip. Yeah, just let that one rip. Like the whole clip, just one front to back.
I bought that Cursed one, and I was like, I really hope there's stuff on it, unless I just paid like $20 for nothing.
You're like, I hope it's mislabeled and it's actually the Saturday Night Fever soundtrack.
That'd
Now
be
we're
dude,
talking.
full circle, hell yeah.
Either that or like Van Halen too. Like I'm really hoping for that, honestly.
It's just isolated Hot for Teacher drum tracks.
We,
right?
we lost Ryan. I thought we lost
No, he
Ryan.
didn't listen. He's right here. He's just I was looking at I had a fan question come in and I figured I'd field it all to you because it's kind of open-ended question for everybody.
Sick.
Oh, well, bring it on.
Since you're all representatives of your own projects and such, I think it would only be forthright to ask such a thing. Dylan, I don't know how to pronounce the Fontenot. I think that's how you pronounce it. But anyway, what was the we'll just go around the circle here. But what was the inspiration for your guys' band names?
Oh. I mean, I think art is pretty obvious. You guys
I don't know. Like John
met this
Candy.
guy, Jonathan Candozian, and he's a pretty cool dude. Shortened his name and now. Yeah, we were just huge John Candy fans. And Eric and one of our bass players, yes, we have 2 bass players, it's Eric and Brent. They just were just like, hey, let's do a all sample band, all John Candy samples, and make it like more like throwback hardcore. And that's exactly what they did. And they needed a singer. Eric's actually a drummer by trade. I mean, he hasn't drummed in years,
Yeah.
but that's Eric is a drummer now. He's just an amazing producer. Yeah, he would disagree. But yeah, so they
Stop it.
yeah, oh you. So they need a singer. This is back in 2005. So this is like back when I was like first, because See You Next Tuesday has been around since then, right? Like early 2000.
Yeah. See You Next Tuesday started in 2003, if
Yeah.
I remember correctly.
Yeah, because that's what I was part of why I was stoked to do this is because I remember you guys being a big deal in like the MySpace deathcore scene and everything. Like the name See You Next Tuesday, I never knew what it meant. And then I saw this movie, I don't remember what it was called, but it's got Steve Carell in it. And there's this woman talking to this kid, and she's like, "Hey, and this guy, lady, she was just a real see you next Tuesday." And she says that, and I was like, "Oh, I get it now." That's where they got their band, those cheeky bastards. So
It's very close.
yeah,
It's a very close story.
yeah.
I am new to See You Next Tuesday. I am their old drummer Andy was the guy on the Skins for all those years of yore. And they when Drew said that he was watching an episode of Sex in the City, and one of the ladies on there was like, you can see her see you next Tuesday. And he was like, yeah, that sounds funny. Let's go with that. And so I am just relaying the information for our band name. So Sex in the City.
Nice.
Hell yeah. Meth's just it's an acronym for hot dogs. Mustard, egg, tomato, hot dog, and then the period's optional, kind of like celery salt.
Dude,
It's
nice.
Or
not-
ranch.
Yeah. I'm going with that.
Did you just make that up on the fly?
Yeah. That's what I think the name means today. It might change tomorrow. I don't know.
Join me tomorrow back in the Black Lodge, and we'll
Yeah.
find out more.
We'll be at the Fireside Lodge where we just discuss things over a nice bowl of meth, period.
Yes. How'd you know I had my Twin Peaks box set?
I didn't, but wow.
Great.
I'm just surrounded by Twin Peaks memorabilia right now.
That is actually fantastic. I'm gonna have to look into that because mine is like two separate ones. Mine's like the old that has the lid that lifts up like this,
Mhm.
and then I have like the new stuff.
The new,
But
yeah,
it's
that's has yeah, I think that's everything. It came out like right after The Return came out, I think. But you
Are
should.
any of you guys fans of Twin Peaks?
I was gonna say I love playing a couple modern video games that are heavily inspired by Twin Peaks. You guys heard of the Alan Wake games?
I was literally gonna say like, are you Alan Wake and shit? Yeah.
I think I'm more of a fan of the stuff that's been inspired by Twin Peaks than the actual show itself. But I do love, like I watched, I think the first season of it. I do love how just unsettling and just off kilter it is. It's yeah, I see why it was a big deal and all the influences that it generated over the years.
Yeah, it's my favorite show. Like, there's like a 4-hour YouTube video of this guy just explaining his theory, and I watched it twice, and I would watch it a third time. Like, I will
say that intro is amazing. Like the music, just
oh
the
god,
vibe
yeah.
of it is fantastic.
There's an awesome Shoo does like has a record where they just did all of the or they did a bunch of songs off of the soundtrack, and they did their own interpretations of it, and it's fucking it's so cool. It's super noisy and just like really just kind of hits all of that beauty and evil of everything. And yeah, I would just recommend even listening to that, even if you're not familiar with like the
Send
actual
that to me.
songs. Oh yeah, I definitely will.
Burn it onto a disc.
Yeah,
burn me
I'll
a
mail it
CD
to you
or-
guys. Yeah, I'll mail it to you guys. We'll be on an 8-track, and we'll just figure it out together.
CDR only, please.
Yes.
I feel like your lizard joke from earlier would fit into a Twin Peaks episode very well.
Yeah, that would just be like a 10-minute scene for some reason, for sure.
Lizard mean.
What is just? Can someone just explain this to me, please?
Best we can do is reverse all the dialogue and deliver it forward.
There it is.
Yes.
Get a lizard.
There you go. That's your next music video. There you go.
Dude.
Done.
Okay, not to stay on with this really fast, but it was interesting because I like read that he had the actors actually learn how to say those words backwards, and that he put that in reverse, and that's why it sounds like even more fucked up. And I'm like, that's the fucking
Awesome.
coolest shit.
Love
Yeah,
that.
it's so
It's
sick.
art.
Yeah.
Next song.
Yeah.
We gotta find a- We actually have a song where during the chorus I'm screaming walking backwards, and then Eric dubbed it over, so like every other measure he actually played me in the background screaming walking backwards, and it has like this weird kind of unsettling sound to it. I never even realized he was doing that. I just thought it was like, oh, this is like this cool audio trick you did, and then he's like, no, I'm actually playing it backwards. I was like, oh, cool. And then
That's fucking sick.
is it the same song where he had Missy Elliott? It's a really old song, but yeah, I
That's
think
rad,
I think at the
though.
time he was playing with the idea of Missy Elliott when she goes the horny Missy, like I don't remember what song that is, but
Yeah,
one of her big ones.
Because that's just in reverse.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, take a ting down, flip it, and reverse it. And then
Yeah.
that's there we go, got it. Yeah, Missy Elliott.
We put respect on Missy Elliott in this house. It's very important.
He's right. Pan over to my shrine now.
Are you
Oh, the
fucking in?
Oh,
It was my time to guard the shrine of Elliot. I would just like to take this time to say that I came really prepared for Drew to be here. I had a octopus, I had Long John Silver's, and he wasn't here for that.
Oh,
You really have to just guilt trip him now. Like, yeah,
Anyway,
you have to like
yeah.
send him pictures of both, and then just like you just have to look so just like
Just
miserable.
depressed.
Yeah.
I
Long
had
John
John Silver. You weren't here.
Have you ever cried in a Long John Silver's, Drew? Because I have.
There, you're there for me. That's
Drew
just
is
my father.
definitely. What's that?
I said that's just my father all over again.
I will say this: Drew is definitely keeping the Bay City Long John Silver's afloat.
Doing the Lord's
It's
work.
all him. It's all him.
It's doing the Lord's work, man.
They just give him a
Drew's-
side of stock.
Drew's two favorite things are Long John Silver's and KFC. And by my house, probably like 10 minutes away, there is a Long John Silver's KFC combo
Oh
in the
god.
same building.
Deadly.
And I'm pretty sure he's hit that up a time or two when he's gone from my house to head back home, from practice or whatever. I remember he called me. He was like, dude, do you know this is here? And I was like, yeah. He's just like, oh my God, I love it.
Do you need a roommate?
It's like I got a famous bowl with fish like chunks in it.
I think that would just be the worst.
That'd be like that'd be terrible diarrhea,
Yeah.
but like earned. Like
Yeah,
you feel good about it. Yeah.
Earn diarrhea.
You know-
is the way to go.
You know full and well what you're gonna get out of this, and you're just gonna shit yourself like
Yeah.
100%.
That's pretty much Taco Bell, right? Like earned diarrhea, like you know it's gonna happen.
Yeah,
but-
it's like I'm content with my choice no matter what.
Yeah, when I
But
go
I
to the
mean-
Midwest, I get like White Castle because we don't have them out here, and I love it. But everyone's like, "Oh, those bad boys are gonna slide right out of you," and I was like, "Worth every bite."
Dude, literally, yeah, that's my favorite fast food is probably White Castle, and every single time it is the same song and dance, and I will do it happily every single time.
I will.
I'm with you.
Have you ever had White Castle's breakfast, Seb?
I actually have not. No, I don't think I knew they did
You don't know
breakfast.
that?
Yeah,
You're missing out. You're missing out big time, and they
I
will serve
will-
it to you 24 hours a day.
okay, I have to seek this out because like there's the closest White Castle to me is like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, so it's like I have to make a little trek, but that would be worth it. Yeah.
You
It,
know?
they serve them on the slider buns, but they actually crack an egg and fry the egg, and you get your choice of either egg and cheese, sausage, egg and cheese, or bacon, egg and cheese. And my God, it is so fucking delicious.
Divine.
And that's the majority of my White Castle gets the majority of my money for breakfast, like hands down. Like
I'm gonna have to seek that out. That sounds fucking awesome.
And
I will
please-
let you. Yes, I will
text
let
me
you
on
know.
the telephone.
Yes.
Let's run down like God tier, S tier fast food restaurants. Go.
In and out.
Breakfast.
Hey.
I love In-N-Out. In-N-Out's great.
Yeah,
Dude,
In-N-Out.
Cookout? Have you guys had Cookout?
Oh, but
I've
I've
never
heard
had
about
Cookout.
it. There's a whole
It's like
Yeah.
it's like a fast food chain in like Virginia, I think. It's like more of a South thing. but like you just get so much fucking food for like dirt cheap, and they just have like hot dogs and like hush puppies and just fucking chicken and burger, and it's like you get all this shit, and it's like you spent like $11 and you're like, okay, I'm gonna just fucking eat and feel heavy and awesome, and it's great.
I've never heard of it. I think I've seen it on a tier list once or twice, but if I ever end up on the East Coast, I don't think I've ever even been on the East Coast, to be honest with you. I think Arizona is about as far as I've gotten east from California.
Oh damn! I didn't realize you were in California, Ryan.
I'm from California. I live in Arizona right now.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Do you guys have Portillo's by you? Because I know they're like over there.
Yeah, we do.
Okay, yeah. Fucking Portillo's is the shit too.
Their Chicago dogs are out of this world. The only Chicago dog I've had outside of Chicago that to me tastes just as good.
Yeah, no,
like
dude.
That might be blasphemous to some people, but I thought it was amazing.
No, dude, I think it's like right. I feel like if you want just like, hey, this is like a Chicago dog that's authentic, like you could just go to Portillo's and just like have it, and it's like this is fucking good.
Yeah, it's nice for us because ours is right next to Knott's Berry Farm, so it's a staple when going to Knott's Scary Farm. And for those who don't know, Knott's Berry Farm turns into a whole Halloween thing for the month of October, and it's awesome.
That's pretty sick.
I've never had what you were asking about, Seb. I've never heard of it.
The cookout? Or
no, the other
or Portillo's?
Yeah.
Okay, dude. Yeah, next time you come to Chicago, it's like they just have like Chicago style hot dogs, Italian beefs, and like burgers and just like Chicago staple food, and it's consistently good. In my opinion, at least. So
I think when Eric and I went there last, I think he got the Italian beef. I remember it was even better than the Chicago dog.
Yeah, dude, that shit with like mozzarella and hot peppers and shit, and then just fucking dip it in the au jus. It's so fucking good.
Is it obvious that we're going to be eating after this interview?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm literally yeah.
Getting you guys nice and hungry. You know, that way you'll leave this interview wanting more, you know?
Yeah, Ryan's already filled with the world's largest fish stick.
Not all of us ate
We plugged so many fast food places on this fucking thing too. It's just like a free ad for fast food right now. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I will happily endorse Taco Bell 100% all the day long.
Yeah.
So, I don't think there's much fast food that like I don't really fuck with. Like I'm kind of a pit sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like people shit on Arby's, but I haven't had it in years. But when I have it, I think it's good. I just don't ever really have it.
Just sandwiches, you know, like who could hate a sandwich? Everybody loves Subway.
I have an awful story about Arby's that I didn't eat Arby's for 8 years because I got food poisoning. Half my band got food poisoning from Arby's.
There you go.
Yeah, back in the day, I used to play in this band called the Heartland. I don't know if any of you guys know who they are. But I had just joined, and we played my first show, and it was we were heading home New Year's Eve to do our New Year's Eve things with our friends and families or whatever. And we stopped on the way back at this like truck stop Arby's, and half of us got the most insane barfing diarrhea combo that anyone could ever ask for. You're basically sharfing in 5 different area codes of Ohio. And
I love it.
I did not eat Arby's for 8 years because of that incident.
God,
that's rough.
It was so long, and I was so scared to eat it that first time. After 8 years, I was like, all right, I gotta do it and see what happens. And I took the gamble. And
how was that foray back into the world of Arby's?
It was, I did, what was it called? The Big Montana.
Okay.
I was like, I'm gonna go big or go home. So I got the Big Montana and some potato cakes on the side, and just took a nap afterwards, and I was fine.
Got immediate bed rest afterwards just to make sure he was okay.
The doctor's orders, like, if you're gonna eat this, you gotta go lay down.
There's a mandatory like 30-minute nap.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
So if you guys are on, like, if you're more Eastern than I am, would make it like, instead of because on our side of the country it's called Carl's Jr. On your side, is it
Oh,
called
it's
Hardy?
Hardee's. Yeah,
That's such a weird
it's super weird.
parents divorce thing. Like, like when you're on our side of the country, you use your mom's last name. Like,
Yeah, dude,
So
I could devour some Western bacon cheeseburgers. That's my
every day,
oh, that
every day.
sounds awesome.
Yeah, that sounds fucking great.
We don't
Extra
have
barbecue.
our Hardee's are kind of few and far between here.
That's sad.
I
Yeah, we don't have a
I
ton.
have honestly not had it in probably 25 years.
Dang.
That's the
Wow.
most depressing thing I've ever heard. If I went 25 years without a Western bacon cheeseburger or a
So
big
do you guys have so here we have rallies,
Yes.
which are also checkers in
I was
some
like,
states.
we have checkers. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Like, do you guys have?
There's
We're
one.
it's rallies in Arizona where I'm at. It was rallies in California too.
Yeah, it's in Stanton, I think, or but that's also by Knott's Berry Farm.
Yeah, Winter Park. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one.
Man,
My
Knott's
old
Berry
man.
Farm's hogging all the import fast
Yeah, I
food.
know.
Yeah.
I mean, the park is
They get
so
all the people that come to their amusement park. They got all the good restaurants outside.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah.
it's got to make up for that horrible park. They're like, we got to get people in this area.
Yeah, because Disneyland ain't far from there.
Yeah.
It's funny that you did mention rallies and checkers because that was like entirely like when me and Drew were talking about this Long John Silver's like ad placement like bullshit because he's just trying really hard to make like Long John Silver's do something similar to like rallies and checkers as a T-Pain meal where just I think Jack in the Box does that. They had an Ice Cube meal, a Snoop Dogg meal. I mean,
Dude,
if ideally, because I know as you said before the interview, you're not big on Long John Silver's, and
I'm
since
not
he's not here, Drew's not here to speak for himself. I guess the Long John Silver's meal deal is off the table. I guess we could go around the since we're talking about fast food restaurants. If ideally, if someone could make like the See You Next Tuesday meal or the meth period meal, or the John Candy meal. Who would you guys want to be making your food?
oh, this is a fucked up question.
Man, yeah, that's
I would say mine's easy. I mean, I don't know how Eric feels, but for me, it's pizza. It's my favorite food on the planet. We were fortunate. We played a show where there was a caterer there, and he made a John Candy pizza for us. He said, "You tell me what toppings are on it, and I'll sell it as the John Candy pizza." And so I'm a monster, and I was like, "Put some pineapples on that bitch."
Fuck yeah.
you're not a monster.
Yes, see, you guys are good people.
No, dude, pineapples fucking rule.
Yeah, it's not controversial, but people are so weird about it.
Yeah.
Would you say
You're
pizza?
all monsters. You're
I mean-
all monsters. Okay, you hear that? Letting you know, you're monsters.
Eric's saying In and Out.
I mean, yeah, if we were going fast food, mine would be In and Out.
Okay. I haven't had that since I was in California many, many years ago.
Oh, you need it.
I have it like weekly.
I miss California. California In and Outs definitely tastes different than Arizona, and it's definitely different because just something. I don't know if it's the care or concern of Californians and their burgers, but yeah, In and Out's a good one. I would agree that's a great place to get the John Candy meal.
Wait, so that's completely weird that you say that because I've only pretty much ever had it in California.
Same.
And just recently I had it for the first time in Nevada, and you're right, it didn't taste like how I would normally taste here in California. So there's something to exactly what you just said.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the beef.
Possibly.
Oh yeah,
Could be.
maybe.
Well, I always heard that was the reason that they wouldn't expand too far away from California was like where the meat processing facilities were. So that I think the meat makes a lot of sense.
I think it would.
All right. Well, who makes the meth meal though?
That was
That's
a
what-
meth meal.
It's a White Castle meal. It's just gonna make you shit your brains out even more because it's just like jalapeno. It's the jalapeno sliders, and It fucking rule, but it just hurts every single time you do it. And like I do that with like chicken rings instead of, but no, the fries are so good. Yeah, dude,
Chicken rings
4
sounds-
jalapeno sliders, chicken rings, fries, and then a grape soda. Boom.
Boom. The meth meal.
Boom.
I knew
You'll
Comes
shit
with
the meth meal, you'll shit your brains out.
Comes with a coupon to 7-Eleven, you know?
Yeah.
It's just
Yeah, it comes with the door code to the 7-Eleven bathroom.
Right? No, that's good.
I was gonna say the same joke, but the price also is the door code for the.
And on the back of the receipt, it has the coupon for a free slider for next time.
Yeah.
it comes
Just
full
so you
circle.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Genius.
I think the See You Next Tuesday would, I think all of us can a common ground agree on pizza. Drew literally has the word pizza tattooed across his stomach. So, I mean, I don't think it can get any more clearer than that. We played Chicago. My first time with the band, we played at the Beat Kitchen, and beforehand, Fox's Fox was in another band back in the day before See You Next Tuesday called Flesh and Blood Robot, and their guitar player is like the social media dude and stuff for Kuma's Corner, which is the place with like all the metal burgers and stuff, like the Mastodon burger, Metallica burger, that type of stuff. And he got us hooked up with them, and they did a See You Next Tuesday burger. And we were like, let's take our other favorite thing besides burgers and combine it, and we did a pizza burger.
Mhm.
So it was like, you know, this big, massive fucking burger that had pepperoni and cheese and marinara sauce on it. It was huge and fucking ridiculous. And so,
Eat it.
you know,
That sounds fucking sick.
Yeah.
I think that
Oh.
that's kind of like the See You Next Tuesday meal, I guess.
I think the biggest question is how did it taste?
Oh, it was so good, and it was so messy. Like, we all wanted to get pictures of us like trying to cram this thing into our mouths. And I know that as soon as I bit into mine, it literally bled all over my shirt. And I had a red shirt on at the time. I looked like the fucking Kool-Aid man. And I had this huge like grease and like medium rare burger blood like splat like right on my shirt. And I was just like, oh man, this is terrible. And then we had to immediately leave there and go play. And we all felt like shit.
Oh yeah.
Oh my god, dude, the show like where you're just full and you just
Yeah.
have to go and play a fucking show. We did that once, like we did a like end of tour meal with this band Amygdala that like at the end of just like, and it was our last day and we fucking ate Olive Garden like an hour and a half, 2 hours before, like, and it was just like just this pit of just like fucking lasagna in my stomach. Like I have to go fucking scream for 30 minutes. What the fuck is this
Yep.
shit?
Every band
That's
has-
such a feeling.
Yeah, we did Thai food before a show we played last year, and I felt like garbage the whole night. I was
Yeah.
like, why did I do this? Like, should eat after
I can
the
tell
fact of the
you,
show.
I can tell you that Rick farted so much after that Kuma's Corner meal, like literally cooking all of us. Like Fox is running back and forth like into it, and it's hitting me like, and I'm like, yeah. He's just he's just like playing, and he'll just be like, ah, I got you. I'm just like, I was like, damn. And I just felt like I had like a sandbag in my stomach, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
is the show over with yet so I can barf?
Prop dusting mastery, you know, that's
So next song title, how'd you know?
And you guys have to do the isolated vocal tracks from David Lee Roth from Running with the Devil.
Write it down.
Oh, dude, I actually I have like a joke project called Vacuum Horse that's just like I dick around in FL Studio and throw horse and vacuum samples into bullshit, and I used that David Lee Roth Running with the Devil sample
Yeah.
in one of those things. It's so fucking
Eric has like
baby.
Eric's got like a running list of all the random ideas that pop up from everywhere, and so he's adding it to the list right now.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
he's
just
got that
kinda-
awesome part with like the slide whistle in there too. It's so fucking good.
Oh my God.
If there's
You
one
gotta call
thing,
it running with the treble. Running with the treble. Just
that would be great. I think if this interview gives us anything, it's just more great music, even if it's just an idea.
Inspiration,
Yeah.
baby.
and I hope it makes people hungry. This is kind of what happens because you know when I do these podcasts with Drew, like he's got kind of like the more we're all goofy, but he's got kind of more of a professional, and like we get off on tangents like a little bit, but like if you throw Rick or myself involved, like when we get to do any sort of talking, it kind of like just goes and like, oh hey, let's talk about this over here, and you want to talk about the greatest movie ever made, Heavyweights? Yeah, we'll talk about that for 2.5 hours.
Ooh, we
You
actually have a whole song dedicated to heavyweights, all heavyweight samples.
God, send it my way, please.
It's called Camp Hope.
Fuck
Fuck
yes.
yeah.
Eric sampled in Lars, at the very end of the song over like some like percussion, like almost not Slipknot style, but it's just like these random weird like bongos or something. And he's going body.
Yes.
There's like this body callback part like on the outro that he sampled. Is it Enigma? No.
I have no idea.
Oh, it's like this random late night.
Oh, from the Jonathan Taylor Thomas movie, the Indian
Oh,
movie.
Oh
With
yeah,
Chevy
yeah. He sampled
the-
that's
the
like the
dad.
chorus. What's that?
It's the one with Chevy Chase, where the Chevy Chase is the
Yeah.
dad, like he's trying to be
Man of the
stepdad.
house.
Man of the House.
There you
There you
go.
So yeah, that song was very fun. As we're huge heavyweights fans, so that was our ode to heavyweights. And the greatest villain ever, Ben Stiller's character in that movie, just S tier again.
Dude, Ben
Tony
Stiller
Perkins.
and like fucking everything.
So him as a villain in anything. I just saw
Yeah.
he's in Happy Gilmore too. I'm like, yes, dude.
Oh
He's
fuck
amazing
yeah.
in Happy Gilmore.
He returns as Hal L.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Dude, he made that like little cameo in like that fucking Hubie Halloween movie too, and I like geeked out. Like it was just
I just heard that today. I didn't know
Yeah.
I never watched that movie, but I heard he's in the Sandler verse or whatever. So I was like, oh, dude, that's awesome.
yeah, it's fucking sick.
A
So-
Log
That movie
King
is very,
Polly is one of the
eh.
best ones. I love that.
Well, I guess before I starve all you guys to death, before we wrap it up, usually I like to ask my guests if they like to share what they listen to. If you guys want to use this time to shout out homies that you
Yeah.
may be listening to or something like that, we can pass the stick around and everybody gets a turn. Just maybe it was stuff that you were listening to get influenced on this new music you guys got out or releasing soon, like the Joe and Candy. And we'll start with Joe and Candy. What are you guys listening to these days?
You want to go first?
I mean, I honestly pretty much only listen to stuff from like 1950 to like 1989. So what I listen to isn't going to be relevant as far as like promoting Friends.
Oh,
So I'll leave that to Brandon.
It doesn't matter. We still want to hear what you are listening to, because I am definitely interested in what you have to say right now.
So I listen to a lot of like Sisters of Mercy. I listen to a lot of like hold on. I listen to a lot of hold on.
He's
pause.
pulling up his list.
Yeah.
I'll start listing off some band. Or are you good?
Okay. So
Okay.
I this week alone, it's been the Misfits, the Jacksons, Grapefruit, Boy Harshers. Let's see. I listened to Sisters of Mercy, Mazzy Star, Ennio Morricone. So it's like it kind of like goes all over the place.
Always Ennio. Boom. I love that.
Oh, what score were you listening to?
The Untouchables.
There you go.
Nice.
He's the guy who did like The Thing and Hateful Eight, right?
Yeah. Well, and then
I mean, he's like old school, but he also has
Yeah.
done some newer stuff too. Yeah.
Like tons of westerns.
yeah,
Yeah,
spaghetti
that's right.
westerns, yeah.
But yes, The Thing.
The Thing's my favorite horror movie of all time, and it's not lost on me. I saw that poster.
That was my holy grail of art prints to get, and I actually got it and paid for it. I got it through this like poster trading group, or print trading group. When we were playing at Talia Hall, I was sitting in the green room, getting ready to do the meth show, and I, found one finally that I could afford, and that thing was like not cheap, and so I'm
That's
stoked to
fucking
have it.
awesome.
But I'm sure
Yeah.
worth every penny. I mean, that
Yeah.
movie.
I don't think
Rich.
anything is ever cheap at the meth show. You know what I mean?
No, never. Their merch is ridiculous.
Dude, it's $200 for a hoodie. Why is that bad? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah.
Pony
When
up.
it comes with pocketfuls of Arby's.
Just Arby's receipts.
Hey, you might enjoy we did a video like our tribute to horror movies in general. We're huge horror fans.
Mhm.
We made a song called October 31st, and the entire song is just all samples from different horror movies throughout, and we definitely sampled some of the thing in there and then incorporated that stuff into the music video as well. And that is real quick, I just a tangent, but the music video we shot, I think in 2020, maybe towards the end of 2020, so the pandemic. So we went to all these filming locations all over LA. Of course, no permits. We just did it like guerrilla style. We shot at the Halloween house, like Michael Myers' house. We shot at places from American Horror Story, Freddy Krueger. What do you got? Nightmare on Elm Street. I think it's where the girl lives, Heather Langenkamp.
Oh yeah.
We're just so lucky because it was the pandemic, so nobody was around. So we shot everywhere we wanted. Nobody bothered us, and we got all the footage we needed. And it was just like one of my favorite experiences ever because we're just very fortunate to be in Southern California, and there's just so many, there's infinite filming locations you can hit up. I wish we had
That's
something
fucking awesome.
close to us, but it's not snowy enough here.
It's like we just have the Home Alone house.
Oh, that's amazing.
No, I know.
One of the best places to have. Yeah, jealous.
We just got the house.
Yeah, well, we just
Yeah.
got
NBD.
That's still very impressive.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But what I've been listening to, yeah, I just pulled up I always like to pull up my Spotify and see I have whatever I'm listening to at any given time. The playlist on Spotify is called The John Candy Gets Ripped, Bro. And it's whatever I'm stoked on at the time. I actually just added one of the Meth albums. What was it? I'm looking right now. The Mother of Red Light. I was listening to that Child of God song. Oh man, dude, so good.
Thank you.
Yeah, good shit. But yeah, the new Cane Hill just came out. I love them. The new Make Them Suffer, new Delta Hate, awesome. I never really listened to 156 Silence very much, but I've been getting into them lately. Eric really got me. Like I've always liked Kubla Khan, but I really like the new album. Eric's got me into them a lot recently. The new Nails is super good. It's a couple more. Huge underrated band, Within the Ruins. I don't know if you guys have heard them. They've been around forever, and they're so technical and so good. And I feel like just not enough people ever listen to them.
I've heard of them.
Yeah, boom. I mean, it's not like they're like a small band or anything. I feel like they're just one of those criminally underrated bands. I guess I'd categorize them as. The new Bill Murray's super good.
Oh yeah.
The new Foreign Hands that came out this year too. I mean, I could just go on forever, dude. I love music. Shockingly.
That's why we're here,
Damn straight.
Yeah.
Pretty much. And our love of fast food.
Yes.
Yeah. And nothing else.
Nothing else. Yeah, nothing else.
Who's up next?
Seb is up next.
I was like, I can't even. I haven't been listening to like a ton of. I've just been going through like shuffling this playlist I have, but it's just like a lot of like just like Swans and Interpol and just like I've been in like a big indie rock kick, and then fucking I do want to plug my buddy. He has this project that he just released called the Math Dolphin. And he basically just pretends like he's this dolphin that's really good at math. And it's like
Old.
fucking I've never met it's this absurd concept that like me and him just like spitballed when we lived together, and then he just took it and just like I've never met anyone come up with so many fucking dolphin puns, but it's like a weird like metalcore like fucking just like hybrid of shit, and he has like all these videos and stuff that he just came out with. But he had me like design the album art, but it's like the new one's called The Math Dolphin Goes to Jail, and it's just it's really hard to explain, but it's entertaining, and like he's one of the best guitarists that I know, and like he does some like really fucking wild shit on there, and it's a fun listen if you're into just like really over the top goofy shit. So I
need
think
more
that's
Meth
something
Dolphin
fun.
in my life now.
Yes, metal. Fucking yeah,
Ooh,
he's a
that's your
goon.
next collab.
Yeah.
The Meth Dolphin.
It writes itself.
Sick.
It's just the same thing, but just red.
I love that you
That
mentioned
works.
Interpol too, because I love Interpol. I don't listen to them often, but when I do, I'm like,
Mm.
why don't I listen to these guys more often? They're so good.
Yeah, it just hits. Like I'm just like if I just need like a good fucking a little tinge of depressing song, like just hits in the correct way.
Totally. Yeah, that music video with like the puppet and the car accident one.
Mhm.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
can't
that
remember
one's fucking.
the song, but that one's like the visuals are burned in my brain.
That's what we need more of is puppets and music videos. I think that's another lost art, you know?
Yep, agreed.
Was it? I don't remember. Was there puppets in that like Horse the Band video, or was that just like a play? If you remember.
Oh, don't start talking Horse the Band in front of Eric.
Okay, yeah, we won't dive in because
Eric
like
loves Horse the
yeah,
Band.
I fucking
I
love
mean, I
Horse
do
the
too,
Band
but
Yeah, I love
but
I
there
I
was that
believe
video.
I believe Horse the Band did. I know the Bunny the Bear did. I know He Is Legend had a puppet video. I know they're
For the seduction, right?
yeah,
Yeah. Fucking
so good. Just
yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I think
That
they
fucking song.
they did another song recently, like one of their off their last album. They brought puppets back, so I was just like, yes, more puppets, please.
More puppets in the metal.
Puppet
Yes.
metal. There we go.
Like metal with crank yankers, puppets going crazy. Do you remember that show?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh my gosh.
Very puppet core.
Yeah.
We're pro puppet here.
Very pro puppet. So I believe that leaves us with Jimmy to give us what you've been listening to lately, buddy.
I listen to the most random shit, and I'm very landlocked with genres, where I just kind of like stick with the same thing. I'm a huge country music fan. I'm not ashamed to admit it at all. I love everything from the 1950s to about like pre 9/11, and there's some stuff that's trickled in like from then that's not really mainstream, but like, artists like Sturgill Simpson, someone I enjoy. Um, you know, there's not a whole lot past like 9/11 that I like super into, but like 80s and 90s country is like what I grew up listening to, and classic rock. So I'm always listening to stuff like that. But like, I don't know, this past weekend I was in Michigan, and we were shooting a music video, and I stayed with Rick, and we were just hanging out playing NHL 25 and just listening to AC/DC and The Clash and Motorhead. Those were some choice nuggets from the weekend, along
Fuck
with
yeah.
the incredible 80s group Men at Work
Oh,
oh
for
hell
the
yeah!
album Business as Usual.
Yeah.
I'm an '80s boy,
Um,
so like any '80s, I'm stoked on.
who could it be now? You know what I mean? Like every day.
Exactly.
That's the question I always.
Exactly.
I was listening to Charlie Feathers.
Also, I've been super heavily into listening to Dragged into Sunlight. If you guys have not heard Dragged into Sunlight and you are a
I was like,
fan
I saw
of,
the
like,
record back there.
man, buddy, I just got my hands on that bad dad, and I'm very, very happy to have it in my collection now. That is whew. Shout out to the owner of the Chicago based awesome record store that I've yet to be in person, but the guy who owns Meteor Gem in Chicago, I got that from him.
Fuck
So
yeah.
I just
Hell
pulled
yeah.
that art is awesome.
Oh yeah, dude.
that
All their
guy's
art is fucking
insane.
gnarly. Yeah. Holy shit.
That guy passed away I think it was last year, unfortunately, and he did art for so many awesome bands, like, and just his art in general. Like, he did some stuff for Trap Them
Oh yeah.
and Lord Mantis, and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
But his art's killer, so that's like been on heavy rotation. The original lead singer of Iron Maiden passed away, so that made me dive back into my love for the first two Maiden records, Iron Maiden and Killers. Always listening to country stuff, but I also it's probably like the two bands that I have like kind of like messed with the most outside of Dragged into Sunlight is I got back into Cattle Decapitation, like the era of when Dave McGraw, their drummer they have now, joined the band. So like Harvest Floor through Death Atlas is kind of like I've been bouncing in between those albums. Monolith of Inhumanity is my absolute favorite Cattle Decapitation record. I think it's some of their best work. And then lastly, you guys might laugh, and then I hope you don't, because I don't care. The first Killers record, Hot Fuss.
Oh, dude,
by the
Hot
Killers.
Fuss fucking rules.
That's a
Dude,
great
Yeah.
album, huh?
that fucking record has it's just bop after bop.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
There's a reason why Mr. Brightside's still on the UK charts till this day, dude. It's a
Yeah.
great album.
I think that first A side, those first 5 songs are probably the best 5 songs in a row that you could really get on an album. Like, I think like that's like some of the best music ever written. It's just like damn hit after hit, like, just like fuck, this album rules. And I've always been a fan of that record. I never got into anything they did after that, because when that came out, I was over in metal land, like, grindcore land, and
Yeah.
I dipped my toe in it, and I'm like, I like this a lot. But then I never took the time to like listen to anything else they did after that. But that record just in particular is just holy shit. I could just sit and listen to it all day, and sometimes I do.
Dude, it's just like really fucking well written, just like pop songs. Like,
Alright.
it's just fucking hits.
Max-
So fucking, yeah.
Yeah. Like maximum digestible, just enjoyable. Like
Yeah.
it hits all the notes that it should, and it's like I can listen to this on repeat and replay all day, and I'm fine.
Yeah.
It's the same, Other than that, I would say, was there anything else you guys wanted to go over? I want to make sure you guys plug your socials. That way people who sat around and enjoyed this fun, descriptive interview about music and food and awesome fantasy meals can find y'all on social media. We can start with you, Seb. How did people find meth online?
How do you find meth on the internet?
How do they safely search that?
So you'll have to go into your private browser, and
Tor
then
browser.
yeah, your and then you just it's usually just meth.band, or if you just type in meth band on Google, it'll come up, and yeah. But just make
Unfortunately,
sure you put band.
Yeah, I did it on Facebook earlier when I was trying to like tell everybody I was going to do this interview today.
Did it give you the alert?
Facebook it was very concerned about
Yeah.
me and was
Oh,
asking
lucky.
me, "Hey, can you just not do that? And if you need help, here's some contact numbers." And I was like, "Am I in trouble?"
Yeah, at a certain point, you just have to be like, I know what I'm doing, and then you just shoo them away.
Yeah, pretty much. That's where we were at.
Yeah.
Very-
Yeah, I was like,
you-
yeah.
Do you need help? Yeah, no, I need help finding the information about this band. Stop asking me questions.
I was just like, band. It's about a band. It's
Yeah, I swear, I promise.
This will be a very enjoyable algorithm to see who finds this video.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, there's guys in masks, and I just don't know what's going on.
We're the
But they
buyers,
all,
or are we the dealers?
it's just like you click on it and you just see like the still of like all of us, and then it's like, oh, they're all just really nice to each other though. And very just like polite.
This is those meth boys are so polite.
Yeah, our links are easy, by the way. Just go to thejohncandy.com, and that links to everything else.
Excellent. That's always good. Nice, easy, and everyone likes a link tree, you know.
Boom.
Yeah.
You said it, and it's the John Candy, the John.
Correct. Yeah, I said it very quickly. Thejohncandy.com. We're very lucky we were able to actually secure that domain because we actually had to buy it from some Chinese conglomerate. Like there was a band in Brazil that owned it. I don't think they do anything anymore. They have the exact same band name, the John Candy. Then they let it lapse, and then some webmaster in China bought it, so we had to pay more than I would like to have paid to get it. It still wasn't horrible, I guess, but had to go through a broker and everything. I'd never even done that before, but surprisingly,
Wow.
we got it. They wanted $1,000 at first. I think we talked them down to like, I want to say 500 or 600, which is still feels insane, but we got it, man.
God damn.
And
I
we had
always
that
forget that
everywhere
that's
pretty
like
much,
a
too.
whole thing.
What's that?
I always forget that that's like people just do that as their like business. Like, I'm just gonna buy website names and sell them off, and it's
Yep.
just like, fuck.
Yeah, it's called cyber squatters or web squatters, domain squatters, little jerks.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder
Fuckers.
if Meth.com is taken.
Yeah, I'd be curious.
We searched
But,
that up
Excuse
first.
your
Well, we did meth.meth.
yeah.
That's fun.
I just double it, you know.
Get twice as much. when you listen. That's great.
Ours is pretty easy to find. It's the letter C, the letter U, next Tuesday, grind, which is our Instagram. And we're on Facebook, like spelled regular, see you next Tuesday. And we also have TikTok also that Drew manages and puts stuff on there from time to time. It's actually a kind of a neat platform for us. Like a lot of people share our stuff and people check out our stuff on there a lot. Like
Same.
we have a bunch of followers on there, which is kind of interesting. So that was something new that we decided to do next year, but that's where you can find us.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
I appreciate all you guys taking the time today. This was a real fun interview. I was kind of like, well, it's a little random. It's a little odd. On paper, there's no correlation, but I think we got a bunch of nice, polite guys in a room to have a good, healthy discussion about music and fast food that I don't think you would get anywhere else on the internet. I think more people should just do random ass interviews. They're just fun, I think.
Yeah, this was a lot of fun.
I
Hell
like
yeah.
the segue of things. It's nice to have structure, but it's also like we had some structure, obviously at the beginning, but it's like you kind of see like where it's gonna take you, like with the conversation. Like,
Of course.
I'm so glad that Seb piped up and said his piece about White Castle because that was, that really got us cooking.
We're all
Dude.
bound now.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I have no impulse control when it comes to White Castle. It's just
You
Wow.
just consume it and enjoy it.
yeah.
Yeah, thanks for
That's
setting
it.
this up, Ryan. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
thank you so much. Yeah,
Yeah.
thanks for
Of
having
course,
all
Warp
of us.
Taste podcast is a fun little passion project of mine. I've done podcasts almost like 5 years now. I think since 2020. Pandemic was good to me. I've been interviewing bands a long time. I've interviewed some of my favorites, and I've found some of my favorites just doing this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm not too sure how it works out like that, but I only know about the John Candy because my girlfriend like found him one day and was just like, "Hey, this band's really cool." And then like a week later, I was like, "Hey, you guys want to like get an interview?" And my girlfriend like showed me the all. Now it's like a year later, and this is like the second time I've interviewed the John Candy. I believe last year I interviewed See You Next Tuesday as well. So it was kind of just like I've been
Yep.
doing this podcast now for about a year, so I just thought I'd bring back old homies and just kind of they brought along Seb, and it's we're family.
That's right, dude. Good
It's
work.
always awesome to see that beautiful mane of yours, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I
That's the only
try.
reason.
Oh yeah,
we
that
joined.
is a beautiful name.
Yeah.
It's just so long, so luscious.
Give us some.
Right? You want
Yeah.
some?
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you mail us just like a little piece each? A little memento?
Just put it like right here.
Yeah.
Done.
Little locks. I can just smell them out.
I would
That'll be
love to see you with just like a piece, like a taped on piece of hair, Jimmy. Just like right there. Just like what?
It all fell onto my face, so you know.
This is a Ryan Rex original.
Yeah. This is
But-
OG hair, baby.
Oh yeah. But I think that pretty much does it though for us here today. I appreciate See You Next Tuesday, Meth and the John Candy for spending time with me today. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Ghost Killer Entertainment. I'd like to thank Breaking Scene Media and Heretic Promotions. I'll be able to have this episode out here shortly. We'll get a little more circulated, and then hopefully we get a whole bunch of new people checking out these awesome bands we had today. Thanks again, guys, so much for coming on today. I appreciate all of y'all.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
I better see some like collabs now because I think there's just a lot of great minds and energy in this, and I hope there's a exchange of social information and everybody has a lovely just future of cool stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
Fuck yeah.
Love it.
Well, for me to all y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Have a great day.